Hello, my name is Keith Lepor, and I'm running for Congress in Massachusetts' 9th District. I'm running because America is rapidly approaching a tipping point beyond which there may be no return. This Congress, led by the current administration, has manipulated the legislative process to force through laws that will soon bankrupt our country. In the last year, our Congress has spent an additional $1 trillion of your money. They have promised to pay for universal health insurance, promised to pay back losses of unsuccessful corporations and banks, promised to subsidize home mortgages and car purchases, and have, in less than a year, doubled the size of the nation's deficit. They have done it all without telling you who will pay for this spending. What will they offer for solutions to this spending spree? Gone are the days when we could freely borrow from the future prosperity of our children. Our interest payments alone on our national debt are more than $500 million a day. Neither can we ask other countries to fund our profligate spending. China's first question to our president on a recent visit was, how can a nation that taxes at a rate of 19% of GDP spend at a rate of 25% of GDP? Change is coming, my fellow Americans. Unfortunately, this change will be in the form of crippling taxes for each and every one of us. Income taxes, estate taxes, and corporate taxes will all need to be increased substantially. Even those at the lowest end of the income scale will feel the bite with the proposed new value-added taxes on every item and service that is purchased. The inevitable consequence of these taxes is less money remaining in our pockets to spend on our families. This reality will inevitably lead to an additional economic slowdown that will jeopardize our already tenuous economy. What can we do to reverse this cycle? I intend to go to Washington to let them know that we do not have a revenue problem. We have a spending problem. Our income tax system is already the most progressive in the world. Our corporate tax rate is second only to Japan. We cannot expect to attract productive businesses and talented people to this great nation if our government plans to take more of the profit than any other place on earth. Our only choice is to take on our spending problem head on. Massachusetts currently sends 10 congressmen to Washington, all of whom are Democrats and beholden to the same set of special interests. Conformity like this is unacceptable. If this country has a chance for change, it must begin here in the birthplace of American freedom. Even my opponent, Stephen Lynch, is often characterized as a conservative Democrat. This undoubtedly is the result of great psyop on his part, as nothing could be further from the truth. Regardless of what he says, Stephen Lynch votes lockstep with Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats 98% of the time. I would encourage all of you to visit the Washington Post online and look at the congressional statistical indexes yourselves. If that is not enough, the American Conservative Union gives Lynch a rating of 4 out of 100. Harry Reid, the majority leader of the Senate, by comparison, receives an 8. Indeed, Harry Reid is twice as conservative as Stephen Lynch. Now, Stephen Lynch has a formidable campaign war chest, and I know what is coming will be a real contest between David and Goliath, as a private citizen takes on a union-backed incumbent. I would like you to consider that 44% of the money that Lynch has raised in the 2009-2010 election cycle is from political action committees, or PACs, labor unions and lawyers for the most part. Now, I have no doubt that these entities are getting their money's worth from Stephen Lynch. But what about you? What has he done for you? What has he done for the 9th Congressional District since 2001? Frankly, the recent visit of President Clinton raised even more union PAC money. This will be essential to Lynch, who will need all the money that he can get, since I intend to expose him for the tax and spend liberal that he is. In the 2007-2008 election cycle, Stephen Lynch's single largest contributor was Fannie Mae. Now, we are all very much aware of the role that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac played in the meltdown of the real estate market and our national economy. According to the Wall Street Journal, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, though burdened by huge mortgage portfolios, have taken $145 billion so far of taxpayer dollars. In a new analysis, Alan Blinder of Princeton University and Mark Zandi of Moody's Analytics put the ultimate price for saving them at $305 billion. As a member of the House Banking Committee, I would like to know what role Stephen Lynch played. Did Fannie Mae get its money's worth? Finally, To watch Lynch berating Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner earlier this year over AIG after Lynch himself voted to pass the legislation that contained the loophole which allowed AIG to pay out the $160 million in bonuses is hypocritical and clearly demonstrates Lynch's chutzpah. I am certain the grandstanding was done for one reason and one reason alone: to create a commercial for the fall campaign which will demonstrate what a great, take-charge, no-nonsense fellow he is. Well, please don't be gullible and buy into it. Sitting on that committee, Lynch is either culpable at worst or incompetent at best. I ask for your vote in November because, like you, I cannot stand by and watch this country be given over to a faceless, self-feeding political machine. We must embrace the very principles on which this country was founded and demand that the government work for the people and not the other way around. As a native of Massachusetts, I owe my life to my fellow citizens who use their research knowledge and commitment to life to save me from childhood cancer. I was imbued with a solid work ethic by a widowed mother who stressed education and hard work as the foundations for success in America. While studying international relations at Boston University, in Cairo, and eventually at Oxford University, I never forgot the obligation I had to repay this great country for the opportunity it has given me. Working in international business consulting, and later as an embedded combat photojournalist, most recently in Afghanistan, helped me to crystallize my focus on helping to keep our country the land of opportunity. I believe that with fiscally responsible leadership and legislation that recognizes individuals' rights and encourages individual achievement, we can remain the beacon of hope for the world. The people of this congressional district need steady, determined, and consistent leadership. They need the vision, experience, and courage of a new breed of citizen politician, not afraid to stand up for what is right and for their own convictions. I will always support good ideas and will not be afraid to work for the greater good of the country, and will not blindly follow any party. I will be a congressman who values principle over politics. I am running to be that kind of leader. I cannot get there without your help. I am Keith Lepor, and I ask for your vote in November. I would encourage all who are concerned about our Commonwealth and country to visit my campaign website at www.keithlepor2010.com and join my Facebook page at Keith Lepor for Congress. I am a new face in Massachusetts politics and do not have deep pockets. I can only be successful if you, the voters, are willing to support and financially contribute to my campaign, which you can do either through my campaign website or you can send a check to Keith Lepor for Congress, P.O. Box 8068, Boston, Massachusetts, 02114. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for your support.